Okay, so I've already, to save time, I've already coded part of the circular queue class for you, and I'm just gonna go over it before we step on to the enqueue function. So it's quite some simple code. Okay, couple of lines. Okay, we have an int pointer array, and we're using a pointer array, not a normal array, because we want to create an array or a queue on the heap. Okay, if you don't know what a heap is, let me know down in the comments and I'm gonna answer that. Okay, then we have our front, our rear, and our size. Size meaning the size of our queue. Then we have our constructor. Inside of it we pass the size. Okay, we make it equal to our local size variable. Alright, and then we like initialize our front and rear to -1. Why do we do that? Well, look at here. Look and see this. By default, if there's nothing in our queue, then front and rear both are equal to -1. And then we create our array on the heap of our preferred size. And then we have our destructor where we delete our queue. So simple as that. Alright. Now when we coding enqueue, okay, let me just write void enqueue. Okay, and I'm going to pass in my data. Now what you're going to do, by the way, let me just show you. Because this is a circular queue, you know, even if it is a circular queue, as long as it is a queue, when you're inserting, you're not going to worry about F, you're going to worry about R. Okay, so you're going to increment R. Like if I put R here, I'm going to increment R to the next. If I put some element here, I'm going to put increment R to the next. That's what's going to happen. We're incrementing R. But the point is, there's a formula to increment R. Okay, we're not going to say R++ all the time, because if we do R++, once R is here, and then we do R++, R is going to come over here, which isn't what we want. We want R to like wrap around over to this side, okay, and start over again. Okay, and because we want it to start over again, we are using modulus. Okay, so this formula right here, we are doing R+1. Okay, because it's same as R++. But because we want R to wrap around, we are using mod with size. So it's gonna keep R+1. R is gonna what this formula basically does is this. Okay, this entire formula does the following. It's gonna keep R++. Okay, so by default it's gonna keep incrementing R to the next, R to the next, R to the next. But the moment it's equal to size, okay, then it's going to make our R come back over here. Okay, simple as that. Just think of it like that. Don't really go into the much technical details of this. Okay, so this is the formula, R+1 mod with size. That's used in the circular queue. So now firstly, when we enqueuing, you want to check something. Okay, and what do you want to check? You want to check if your F is equal to -1. Okay, and if your rear is equal to -1. Okay, which if it is equal to -1 and you're trying to insert something, then you want your F equal to, your F and your R both equal to 0. Okay, we want them to go to the first element. Okay, and that's like yeah, and then we just want R, we want to drop something at R. Simple as that. Okay, perfect. Then what you want to do is this. You want to have an else if statement, because there are conditions when your R and your F is not going to be -1. Okay, and what do you want to do then? Well, this is what you want to do. You want to use the that formula I told you, right? Okay, which is like R plus 1. Okay, mod that with size. Okay, and once you do mod that with size, you want to check. Okay, you want to check if that is equal to your front. Okay, you want to basically check if your queue is full. If it is, then you're going to say queue is full. I'm going to explain how does this work. Just hold on. Like that. Okay, so look, this is what I mean. R+1 mod size, meaning if your R is over here okay, and assume this is our front, right? So now I try to enqueue something else inside of this, okay, because look, this is 3 and this is already some number there, okay, and there's numbers here as well. So now I try to increment r, okay, so r is going to come over here. It's going to check, it's going to say r plus 1 mod size, meaning it's going to come over here and it's going to check if it's equal to f, okay, which in this case is equal to f, okay. Then it's going to say that our queue is full, okay. So that's the thing, okay. So this is just simple as that. You want to check in the second if you want to check if your queue is full, and if that's also not the case, then you just want to do the normal thing. And the normal thing is that you want to say you want to copy this formula, the same formula, okay. You want to copy it, paste it over there, okay, and you're going to make it equal to r, okay. R is now equal to r plus 1 mod width size, and then you're going to array r equal to your size. Alright, simple as that, right? Actually not with size, sorry, with the data. So that's our Enqueue function. It was actually quite simple. Thanks for watching.